The rain had been falling for hours. That kind of rain that blurs a world into shapes and shadows, that drowns the sound of the city until everything feels far away. Cars moved slower. Lights shimmered on the wet pavement. It was the kind of night people stayed indoors, grateful for a roof, a blanket, a warm meal. But one boy wasn't indoors. He was running, clutching something to his chest like his own life depended on it. His shoes slapped the pavement, soaked through. His socks squished inside them. His breath came in sharp, panic bursts. But he didn't stop, not even when he slipped in the mud, not when his knees hit the ground. He just got up, tighter grip, faster steps. The towel in his arms was heavy now. Wet and quiet, too quiet. The glowing red sign of the Greenstone Animal Clinic came into view, just one light still on inside. The open sign had been turned off. He didn't care. He burst through the front door, a gust of cold air hitting the warmth inside. Wind chimes above the door jingled like they were screaming. The receptionist jumped. She was already putting on her coat, ready to leave. "We're closed," she said automatically, but then she saw his face. And then she saw what he was holding. Dr. Rehan had been halfway through finishing up paperwork when he heard the commotion. He walked out, still wearing his scrubs, hair slightly disheveled, eyes tired but alert. He saw the boy, shivering, rainwater dripping from his elbows, mud on his hands, and something small wrapped in a soaking towel against his chest. Without asking a single question, Dr. Rehan stepped forward and gently took the bundle from the boy's arms. The towel fell open. A tiny puppy lay there, wet, unmoving. His eyes were shut, limbs limp, no sign of breath. Dr. Rehan didn't flinch. He turned on his heel and headed straight for the emergency table. The boy followed, quiet, unsure if he was even allowed in, but no one stopped him. The room was sterile, cold under the fluorescent lights, but right now it felt like the most important place on earth. The doctor placed the puppy on the table, checked for breath, for a heartbeat, for anything. Nothing. Not a single sign of life. One of the nurses, who had stayed late to finish up inventory, stepped in beside him. "We can call it," she said softly. "No," Dr. Rehan replied, not looking away. "We start CPR. Now." The others moved instinctively. A warming pad, towels, oxygen. But the doctor was already working, 2 fingers gently pressing the tiny rib cage, counting under his breath, breath into the nose. Compressions. Again. The boy stood in the corner. His fists were clenched at his sides. His jaw was trembling, not just from the cold anymore. He finally spoke, almost in a whisper. "I don't know his name." No one responded, but they all heard it. "I found him under the bench by the bus stop. I thought he was asleep, but he wasn't breathing. I tried to shake him. He didn't move. I didn't know what to do, so I ran." Dr. Rehan kept going. The room was quiet except for the steady rhythm of compressions and the beeping of the warming pad turning on. 2 minutes. 5 minutes. 7. Still nothing. Even the nurse began to slow her movements. Her eyes flicked to the clock. It had been too long. "Come on," Dr. Rehan said under his breath. "Come on, little guy. Don't leave yet. Not like this." 8 minutes. The boy was crying now, silently. Not the loud kind. The kind where the tears fall without sound. But they don't stop. He bit down on his sleeve to keep from making a noise. 9 minutes. Dr. Rehan pressed again, one more breath, and suddenly the puppy coughed. Just once. Then again. A small, gurgling noise came from his throat, and the whole room froze. Dr. Rehan leaned in. He placed his fingers to the chest. This time he felt it. A flutter. Then a beat. Tiny. Weak. But real. The puppy gasped again. This time more air than water, and let out the softest whimper anyone in the room had ever heard. It was like a whisper from a soul pulled back from the edge. "He's alive," the nurse whispered, hand over her mouth. Dr. Rehan smiled. Not the kind you see in photos, but the kind that rises from deep inside the ribs after a battle. He gently lifted the tiny pup and wrapped him in a dry towel, one warmed on the radiator. He walked over and handed him back to the boy. The boy didn't move at first. His eyes were wide, disbelieving. Then he reached out, hands shaking, and took the puppy into his arms. The pup blinked up at him, barely able to move, but breathing, alive. The boy looked up at the doctor. "Thank you," he whispered. His voice broke on the second word. Dr. Rehan only nodded. The puppy's nose nestled into the boy's chest. Its breathing was uneven but present. Life, fragile and fierce, had returned. There were no phones recording, no reporters at the door, no trending hashtags. But somewhere between the storm and the silence, a miracle had happened. Not the kind you read in textbooks. The kind that only happens when someone decides not to give up, even when it looks like all hope is gone. The boy never forgot that night. Years later, when he spoke about it, he didn't remember how long he ran or how cold the rain was. He just remembered the moment a lifeless puppy opened its eyes and reminded him that sometimes, when the world says it's over, someone brave enough says, "Not yet," and that changes everything.